Here's 5 things you should never say to your teens, and 3 that you should. Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm a professional psychologist. I've had decades of experience now working with teenagers, and they are fun and challenging. I've got you on this. Listen in as I share those 5 things you should never say and give you 3 things that you should. What's wrong with you? Okay, that's something you should not say to a teenager. Listen to everything that's wrong with that. We say it sometimes habitually. What's wrong with you? Usually what we mean is, hey, the behavior I just observed that you did doesn't fit with my expectation of what you should do as your parent. Right? That's kind of what it means. But when we say, what's wrong with you, that sends a very clear message to our child, to our teenager, that we believe something is wrong with them. And really, it's not even a question. It's more of a statement or a declaration. Let's just stay away from that one, can we? Here's the next one. Why can't you whatever? Why can't you just do what you're supposed to? Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? All right, psychologically, there's some problems with this question because it's not a question either. We're not asking them to explain to us the reasons why they're not capable of doing whatever it is that we put at the end of that question. And what answer would possibly satisfy you as a parent? If your teenager responds, oh, because, well, I have some deficits or I have some disabilities that don't allow me to do that thing. You're not asking them, why can't you? But the implied message is, you can't because you are bad. You are an idiot. See, it's a very accusatory question, and it's not even a question. Why can't you? Let's stay away from that one too. Here's the next one. I told you, and whatever follows that. This is something that sets you up for rebellion. How do you feel if somebody tells you what to do? Now, we do it all the time as parents. I know it's part of the gig. But that message communicates, I am here, you are here. You can't think, I can. If you would just, come up to where I am, if you would listen to me, if you would do what I say that you should do, then you could be okay. Now, I'm overemphasizing this on purpose. I just want you to connect with the possible impact that these kinds of phrases can have on our teenagers. Here's a close cousin to that one. You have to or you need to. That's where we're dictating and giving them instructions for what we think they should be doing. And even if we're right, which we are, let's face it, you've been around the block a few times as a parent. You kind of know what your kids need to do to get along and be good citizens and have a good life. At least you are pretty sure you know, right? And you do. From your life experience, you know some of these things. The problem with dictating that to teenagers, first of all, they don't hear it. What they hear is, I'm trying to control your life. And even though you're not, that's kind of what they hear. I still remember a mom and her son sitting in my office. Son is, 14, 15 years old. He's over there in the corner on the couch, not happy about being there at all. Mom dragged him in there kicking and screaming, and she's going on and on and on about all these problems that she's seeing in his behavior. She winds down a little bit, and I turn to him and I say, so what do you think the issue is? He almost comes out of his chair as he says, she, pointing to his mom, is ruining my life. She wants to control everything about my life. Well, then I come out of my seat. I'm like, what's the deal, Mom? You want to control his life? She's like, no, heavens no. I don't want to control his life. I want him to control his life in the way that she thinks that he should. But notice the message that went across to him. Anytime we as parents say you need to, or you should, or you have to, it communicates that I'm trying to control your life, at least to the teenager. Here's another one, and I hope you have never said this. I hate you. Now, sometimes we communicate that in other words, but the tone of voice and the way that we put a disdainful look on our face or we're snarling, that's the message that they get sometimes. Wow, how are you feeling so far in this video? I'm like, oh, this is rough. When we talk about all of these things, these messages that we sometimes inadvertently send, but they have that negative impact on our relationship. Let's see if we can identify some things that work instead. But before I get to that, I've got a little bonus for you here today. My assistant, Cindy, at Live on Purpose, is an excellent cook. And she put together a compilation of 5 recipes that teenagers are going to love. Do you want a copy of that? I got a copy of it because I think Cindy did a nice job with this. Just go grab it as a bonus. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/recipes, and we'll put those 5 recipes right into your inbox that are guaranteed to be a hit with your teenager. Let's see if we can win you some points here. Now let's move on to those 3 messages. Now we're shifting gears now. You know what not to say. Hopefully you've been taking notes, or at least mental notes. And here's the ground rules. No beating yourself up if you've used some of those. We probably all have at some point or another. But just make a mental note of that. Let's move on to the 3 things you should say to your teenager. These are powerful messages that align the control in a healthy way between you and your teenager and put you back into a position of a benevolent, generous, loving parent, which you are, okay? Write that in your notes somewhere too. I am a benevolent, generous, loving parent. And you are. There's a lot of evidence for that. Here's the 3 messages. Number 1, I love you no matter what, and even if. This is the most powerful message that you can send to your teenagers or children of any age, really. I love you no matter what, and even if. There's nothing that you can do that will ever change that. I've got you right here. Do you like that message? You already can get behind this, right? Because you've been tested on it. No matter what your child has done so far, you still love them. Don't you? Yeah, let's just be really intentional about that, and that's one of our messages that we're going to send on a consistent basis. I love you no matter what, and even if. Here's your second message. Hey, if you have any questions, ask. Oh, see, that's really different from you have to, you should, you need to, which comes up against resistance. Instead, you're making yourself available as that benevolent, loving, generous parent. Hey, if you have any questions, ask. I've been around the block a few times. I've noticed some stuff. I've picked up on a few things. I'm happy to share any of that knowledge with you, but only if you want to hear it. I remember I've told kids this in my office before. I've said, hey, I got some ideas about that. If you ever want to hear them, let me know. And some kids are like, well, you're probably just going to tell me anyway. Oh, no. No, I don't want to bother you with something that you don't want to hear about, but I'm happy to share anytime you want to hear it. Now, notice I'm being very, very sincere about that. It's not a manipulation to get them to ask me. I sincerely don't want to tell them unless they want to hear it, at which point I am open. I'm an open book. You ask me anything. Okay, so that's message number 2. If you have any questions, ask. Here's the third one. This may be the hardest one. This might be the one that you feel a little resistant to as a parent because you're so used to what you've been saying. Here's number 3. Good luck. Wait, what, Dr. Paul? Good luck? What do you mean? I'm just supposed to let them go out and make their own choices? I would ask, what do you mean, let them? Like, you control that? I still remember a mom, as we're having this conversation, and her son is really struggling with some things over at the high school. And she says, well, what am I supposed to do? Just let him fail? I'm like, what do you mean, let him? Is that really up to you? Your job is to love him no matter what and even if. He's going to go make his choices. He's going to have his adventures, and you're wishing him luck on that adventure. Good luck. Now, you and I know it's not luck. It's principle. As we live according to principle, we have a whole lot more luck, right? But that's why you give those first two messages. I love you, no matter what and even if. Hey, if you have any questions, ask. Happy to share anything that I know. Good luck. Now you get to smile. You get to back off. You get to be the benevolent, generous, loving parent that you are, and powerfully put yourself in a position to consult with your teenager. Those are 3 messages I want you to send. Those are 3 that will empower and save and enrich your relationship with your teenager. Give it a try. Hey, remember I promised you a little bonus, those 5 recipes that Cindy put together for us? 5 recipes that are guaranteed to be a hit with your teenager. drpauljenkins.com/recipes. We'll send it right over to you.